why did the market sell off on Monday?
That's not a question for truth or skepticism. That's just a Dylan Ratigan question.
It's a question I'm just asking you to answer. It has nothing to do with Dylan Ratigan, truth, skepticism, or even Tasty Trade. It's just you're a person, you're a trading god. I have a simple question. Why did the market sell off on Monday?
The market's been going up for pretty much the entire 2024. It's allowed to go down for a couple of days in a row, and that's the reason it went down. I don't want to hear any of the crap about.
There's no crap. You don't know where I'm going. You don't know where I'm going.
Okay.
So, okay, fair enough. You're like, okay, whatever the reason is, it's a reason, some reason.
Yeah, sure. Okay. You can always make up a reason afterwards, but it doesn't matter.
You're talking to the guy who worked at Bloomberg who would collect the quotes from
I know. Gravity.
Tell me.
Gravity woke up.
Me, sir.
Gravity woke up from its nap.
Okay, fair enough. Next question. Why do we need a reason? I'm not saying why. What is it about the human being that wants a reason? If I'm the Bloomberg stock market reporter, or if you're Tom Sosnoff at Tasty Trade and in the last hour of the trading day, or if I'm Dylan Ratigan on Overtime with Chris and Ilya, or you're the reporter at the Wall Street Journal, you can say the market did this, up, down, sideways, whatever it did. And then there's going to be some discussion as to why. Whether your reason why is like, oh, value and it went up. It could be a technical reason. It could be a voodoo reason. It could be you can 1,000 reasons. It'll be reasons, some list of reasons. Sure. And so the next question is, why do human beings need reasons?
And that's a really fair question, and I'm going to give you the answer. And that I'm not sure that I don't know if anybody else thinks this way. But if I said to you, Dylan Ratigan, you are going to die in 7 days. Okay.
I don't love the example.
It's not a great example. Let's not take Dylan Ratigan.
Dylan Ratigan, you're going to get a new car in 7 days. How about something?
No, that's not a good one because you wouldn't need a reason for that. If I said you have 7 days left to live, okay, you would say why?
How about Dylan Ratigan? You're moving to Mexico tomorrow.
Let me do my example. Okay.
All right, it can be you and I'll be me.
You have 7 days. I've just informed you have 7 days left to live. You're going to say, why? It's a reason. Why? If I say, and because you're not a doctor, you're going to, something's wrong. We don't. If I said, hey, most people don't really understand markets that well and, or understand finance. And if I say the market went down, they're going to go, why? But if you go to a Cubs game tonight, Seiya Suzuki, who's their cleanup hitter, hits a home run on the second pitch in the second inning, you're not going to say why. Like, why did he hit a home run here? Like, because that's what he's supposed to do. My whole point is that we ask questions. We ask questions for things that we don't really understand why they're happening.
But there's circumstances where human beings demand reasons.
There are circumstances where human beings demand reasons, and there are other circumstances which we don't.
Agreed. Fair enough. Okay. But we're talking about a specific set of circumstances which is financial market prices move. They go up, they go down, they go left, they go right. And whenever financial market prices move around, there's a multi-bajillion dollar industry based on the idea of offering reasons, whether it's financial media, financial analysis, investment analysis, technical analysis, trading analysis. The entire financial industry is based on reasons, passive reasons to be active, reasons it went up, reasons it went down. So you agree that the financial markets are a domain where people like reasons, or they seek reasons?
Because, and I'll use myself as a perfect example here. I do not need a reason why the market went down on Monday or Friday, or why the market reversed intraday today. I do not need a reason because I feel like I've been watching markets for my entire life and I don't care why it went down. It went down, big freaking deal. And it reversed today, big deal. I don't need a reason.
There's no reason to be profane.
But there are a lot of other people that need a reason. That is why Bloomberg exists. That is why CNBC exists. People need a reason. Okay, I don't need a reason. For the people that need reasons, okay, we give them reasons.
No, I get it, but you can see where I'm going with today's episode.
No, I really don't. I don't yet. I don't see where you're going yet.
I have a reason for what I'm doing. Okay.
Okay.
Which is, so there's two worlds. There's the world of the Tom Sosnoffs who would claim that they don't need reasons, and that might be semi-true. Although even Tom Sosnoff from time to time is known to seek out a reason.
Oh boy.
Even if his reason is mean reversion or his reason is price extreme, but even Tom has reasons. Do you believe that the existence or the seeking of reasons is an additive, or does it help or hurt an investor?
I think
are all reasons created equal?
are all reasons created equal?
In other words, are some reasons useful and some reasons not?
I think that reasons give certain investors or certain people, like, they're able to rationalize things a little bit better because somebody gave them, because there's an answer or there's a reason for it. So they're able to rationalize something a little bit better. So I think for that alone, okay, maybe. Do they make things better? I don't know that I agree with that. I think there are so many, like, the fact that we need reasons bothers me. You know, because
that's why I chose the topic,
because I'm not a person that needs a reason. Like, do you want to go out to dinner? No. I don't say why. I don't care. You know, like, why do I care?
I understand. So I'm going to give you I'm going to go a couple different places with this. So first of all, now it's going to be my metaphor. You wake up in the morning, you've got a limp. Like, you used to walk normal. Now tomorrow morning you wake up, you're limping. Your left leg, you're limping.
Okay. Story of my life.
Would you like a reason?
No.
Or you're like, I don't need a reason. And I would say you would like a reason, because maybe the limp is there because there's some real deep medical issue that the limp is symptomatic of.
Okay.
Or maybe you just slept on it funny.
There are certain things in life.
So maybe there's a reason the stock market sold off that's indicative of some horrific underlying catastrophic risk. Or maybe the market sold off because it went up a lot, it's time to go down.
Okay. Where are you going with this?
But I'm saying if the reason is meaningful, because if the reason it went down is because it's indicative of a larger future structural issue, it's communicating a bigger issue, you have a real medical issue, you have a real financial issue, as opposed to just you slept on the wrong side or it went up, so therefore it goes down.
There's a difference between efficient markets and an illness. So, like, if something can be fixed, then I guess I would like a reason. Like, if I broke my leg, I would like to know that my leg is broken so I can get it fixed. But if I have a stock and it goes down, I don't really care, like, why it went down. Did it go down because they had bad earnings? Did it go down because something they did, they messed up? I mean, if you believe in efficient market theory, there's no reason to care why it happened, other than maybe it gives you some peace of mind.
And let me bring in the political domain. What is the reason why Kamala Harris is the nominee? Was it a pre-planned conspiracy, or not even, was it a pre-planned strategy over the last year to avoid a primary, knowing Biden wasn't going to run? Or was it just an accident of the process in time?
Well, that's a, you know, I mean, you can say what.
But my question is, well, there's a compelling people. But my point is, my point is, human beings, to your earlier point.
That's different.
Like
that's
reasons.
a discussion topic. That's a discussion topic. That's not. I don't think that's something you necessarily need a reason for. That's a discussion topic.
No, but what I'm saying is, human beings, by their nature, like to assign reasons to things. Period.
Okay.
Going back to like rain dances and whatever it is. In other words, I think that there's a basic human desire to demand reasons. That every conspiracy theory is born from the human desire to have reasons. Because
I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm just saying, where are you going with this? Like, what's the point?
Well, my point is, do we do ourselves a disservice in both markets or in politics or in life for seeking reasons? I guess is what in other words, if reason seeking is just a primitive human behavior, is it actually counterproductive to our existence? Or should we just accept things as they are on a more basic level, whether it's political, financial, or, I mean, is the human desire for reasons counter to our well-being?
So you're going to ask an efficient market theorist, an efficient market believer, if we need reasons.
Well, no, I'm going to say if beyond the market itself.
I understand what you're saying, but you're asking somebody that fundamentally, in the one space where everybody needs a reason, you're asking the guy that doesn't think anybody needs a reason if we need reasons everywhere else in life. And my answer to you would be, you know, if you don't need reasons in the financial markets, then you're never going to need a reason anywhere else. If you need reasons in the financial market, you're one of those people that just needs reasons in general.
So you're saying that there's two types of people, reason people and no reason people.
Right.
That an efficient market theorist is the opposite of a person who needs a reason.
Right.
And reason people, but that also reason people are obviously the majority.
That doesn't mean we can't carry a conversation or hold a discussion on things. It just means I don't need a reason for everything.
But my question is, do you think that puts you at an advantage or a disadvantage to people who need reasons in life?
Well, I mean, I would argue it puts me at an advantage because I don't have to worry about all the same crap that everybody else has to worry about. But you might think it puts you at a disadvantage. I don't know. I mean, how can anybody answer that? I don't know if it's.
Well, the interesting thing is, if you were to assert why your lack of the need for reasons puts you at an advantage, you would need reasons. You would need evidence to support the reason why your lack of reasons is to your advantage, which is I find mildly entertaining. So let me just take you to the sort of next iteration of this, because I'm looking at this also through the political lens and sort of Trump and Kamala and all these aspects, right? And it's like, well, why is Trump this or why is Kamala that?
Sure. So what's the political reason? I don't understand it.
Well, but forget even the political reason. Then it sort of goes to, okay, what are these political candidates? These political candidates are ultimately symbols for what people want to feel, in my opinion. So people don't vote for Donald Trump or Kamala, or don't support Trump or Kamala, or for any other candidate for that matter, based really on their policies or values or character, so much as they vote for them based on what they represent as a symbol. You know, so it's not a referendum on, what is Kamala's policies, although that is part of the symbology. Or Trump is like a FU to the system, and Kamala is a woman, a minority woman, all these aspects, and that those symbols are where I was going at with the reasons conversation is, people love to give reasons, whether it's for the market or for politics, but the reasons they tend to give are not the reasons thing actually happened. So there are reasons. There's some reason the market went down on Monday, and there's some reason why Kamala or Trump is popular or unpopular. But the reason that they are is rarely the reason that's offered by most people. So the market went down for some reason, but just because Dylan Ratigan or Tom Zosnoff says it's some reason, the chances that it's that reason are unlikely, or the chances are, or for that matter, with a political candidate.
Okay, that's fair.
But there are reasons, right? Whether it's the appeal of the anti-establishment or the appeal of whatever, the relevance of abortion or whatever. And one of the things that I was thinking about in coming into this conversation is, well, what is the most, like at the end of the day, what politics is, or markets, because going to the herd aspect of it, is a reflection of prevailing sentiment in some fashion, sentiment through prices, sentiment through political support or lack thereof. And what drives political sentiment is where people's attention and what information they believe they're navigating. And where does that information and navigation go? It goes through the lens of the media and largely social media, the algorithm. And so the degree to which, whether it's market or political outcomes, are ultimately influenced by the TikTok algorithm, by social media. In other words, because I know that you're obsessed with the TikTok algorithm, and I think you're not, we all are. I mean, in many ways, because it's remarkable. But I've been reflecting on the degree to which the algorithm, dictates much more than we realize, both politically or for that matter, financially. And then is it the algorithm that's driving people's behavior, or is the algorithm a reflection of, is the algorithm a mirror of sentiment? In other words, just look at the TikTok algorithm. Is the TikTok algorithm a function of where your thumb stops on your phone? So it just does a collective analysis of all the thumb stopping, and if thumbs stop on these things rise up, and if thumbs don't stop on these things go down. So the algorithm is not even telling you what to look at so much as it is listening or observing the collective thumbs of the world and projecting it back at you. And so I believe my question to you would be, is the algorithm a function of what the algorithm decides, or is the algorithm, in your opinion, actually just analyzing behavior and reflecting it back at you?
I think it has to be analyzing behavior.
So I agree. So let's say the algorithm is reflecting behavior back at you on some level, right? And that behavior is the behavior of time and attention, right? So if there's a lot of time and attention on a thing, it implies more interest in that thing, right?
Sure.
Rises.
Sure.
So then are the companies and political candidates that are the most successful the ones that are the best at acquiring and occupying people's time and attention? In other words, is Donald Trump successful because Donald Trump knows that there's a lot that he can occupy a lot of time and attention with a message with whatever his messaging is? Or was Biden less successful because of that? And again, and so what I'm getting at is like, because there's one where it's like, oh, well, there's a conspiracy of a smoke-filled room, and they picked this candidate, and they decided this thing, and it's an organized thing by the Democrats or the Republicans. And then there's another world where it's no, the human attention is being constantly evaluated on all the telephones, and that information is being optimized by brilliant operators with resources to then drive messages that elevate political candidates and ideas. In other words, do you think that the political environment is a function of smoke-filled rooms and manipulate like decisions, or is it really those who can best observe the moment, the flow of attention on the telephone, that then can tailor a message or a candidate? Like Donald Trump, brilliant at attracting people, or was there already a lot of frustration and resentment after the financial crisis in 2008 and the banks and whatever, and Trump put together the best message to sort of organize frustration based on where the flow of traffic already was on everybody's telephone, or for that matter, whatever. I think you understand where I'm going.
I do, and I think you're overthinking this and overanalyzing this. I think in 2015 or 2014, Trump almost did it like a joke, and almost thinking, hey, what, this could be fun. Maybe I don't put any money in. He didn't put a dime in, essentially. And let me see where this goes. And he by accident struck a chord struck a nerve in America that didn't realize, that nobody realized it was there. I mean, it happens all the time with different businesses, different business ideas. How Facebook was created. It's the genius behind social media. There's a lot of stuff. It's not like some organized grand scheme of things. It's just like any great business that pivots. All of a sudden you find something and it works, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I can't believe that I created this virality through whatever. And I think that Trump even surprised himself in 2016 and blah blah blah. So I don't think that there was this great strategic decision or any of that kind of stuff. I think it was just everything came together. It was the perfect storm, and he took advantage of it. He took advantage of the perfect storm for him. He took advantage of just a bad effort on by his counterparty. And so, Clinton messed that up in big time. And I think it was a combination of both things. One candidate messing up, another candidate, getting lucky. I don't.
And what do you think's happening right now with Kamala?
With Kamala, it's different because it's a little bit of the exact opposite, because it's a perfect storm in the other way. The Trump MAGA movement is dying, and it's run its course. And Kamala got lucky because everybody thought that she was going to be a far worse candidate, and it turns out she's a far stronger candidate, with much greater appeal. And so it surprised everybody. The same way, the roles are reversed from 2016 to 2020. I mean, it's 2024. But you want to know what I think is going to happen?
Yeah.
Since we've gone down this path, since you opened the door, Counselor, I have a theory on the 2024 election.
Okay.
I think after the Democratic National Convention, Trump doesn't like to lose. And he's about to enter into an area he's never been before since 2016, where he doesn't think he was ever going to get again, which is he's going to be down by double digits. He's almost there last night. As soon as he goes down by over double digits, which I think will happen at the 2020 at the convention,
I agree with that.
I think he's going to mysteriously get ill and he's going to drop out. And I think they're going to replace him with Nikki Haley. This is a crazy thought, because she's the one that can actually go toe to toe with Kamala and could beat her, because she's a centrist, and you have to have a centrist. She messed up a little, a bunch of different ways, but I think she has the best chance to beat Kamala. And I think it would be a really close race, and it would be a complete toss-up. I don't think Trump has a chance, and I think he's going to drop out of the race, because I don't think he wants to lose, and I think they're going to make it. It's going to look good. That's my crazy call.
So you think we end up with a Haley Harris presidential contest for September?
I do.
After Labor Day, when it's all said and done, it's a Haley Harris contest.
That's what I think we're going to end up with. It's a crazy long shot. I know I'm out there.
I love it.
I've said from the start, I didn't think either of these two guys, Biden or Trump, will be actually in the. I mean, Trump's in his cognitive decline is almost as bad as Biden's, and
Sure.
he's in trouble. And I think that his vice presidential pick was a disaster. And I think that I don't think he wants to lose. I don't think he wants his legacy to be that he lost twice to people he has no respect for. And I think that he's going to drop out. Haley's going to take in. It's going to be a very close race. And she could easily win.
I don't disagree with the word you've just said. In fact, I would say it's a higher probability event. In other words, I think that you paint it as an outlier event. I would say that it's more likely that it's a non-Trump candidate. I think that
no, it's a huge outlier statistically, because you know what? The one thing I like about the betting odds, and I'll pull this up. The one thing I like about betting odds, which is so cool to me, is it's not just like a few people. This a few million people, you know, in the betting markets. And so I like betting markets just because it's crazy. And yeah, you know, and they have all these like right now they have her up by 20 points in some polls. I mean, it's just insane. And but they also have the probability of a woman becoming president at a much higher number, meaning that there is a other bet.
But do they have the odds Trump is not the candidate in
They
that
do.
mix?
They do, but I don't know where it is. I don't want to go searching for it while I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
I just don't want to. It's out there. There's thousands of bets. The bets that have the most participants are, you know, obviously the presidential election, everything around that. But I don't know where I just have to look for the other ones. Anyway, it's just a thought. It's just interesting. But you're talking about decision making. You're talking about reasons.
Well, I'm not about reasons, and I'm just saying because what you're describing is basically a series of events where there isn't reasons for any of these things. These are just sort of like, you know, because back like when I was in the full peak in the full throes of my MSNBC anchordom, you're subjected to a bajillion conspiracy theories as to the Democrats are doing this, or the cable news are doing that, or the Republicans are doing this. And the closer I was to any of the rooms or environments of power, the more it was apparent to me that the primary organizing principle is people's desire for self-preservation and to not get fired. And that any sort of broader conspiracy or organization to control power or make decisions was really absent. That it was never like, oh, well, the Democrats were trying to do this and they're coordinating with the cable news companies to do that and this and this and this. It's more that there's a naturally self-organizing set of decisions from people that are from the same basic schools, live in the same basic cities,
right,
and who have a same basic idea, which is I don't want to get fired and I want to get promoted. And there's sort of an underlying set of signals that for the things that you do if you would like to not get fired, and the signals that you think that you can do to get promoted. And but that gets misinterpreted as a conspiracy, which goes back to my sort of initial discussion about reasons, which is that I believe so much of what actually happens that gets attributed to these larger reasons, whether it's why did Kamala end up being the candidate or whatever it is, because there's whether general or why does MSNBC or Fox News do this or that, or why does CNBC say this, or why does Bloomberg do that really none of these things are driven by any organized set of reasons, but rather it is just a collective self-organization of sort of short-term impulses of humans who are hoping to get promoted and don't want to get fired.
Maybe we should spend more time teaching how market efficiency works, and everybody will give up the requirement for reasons for everything.